Hey everybody, welcome back to Sounds Like a Drum, Cadence Independent Media Production. Today we are sort of spotlighting the tuning range and more importantly the speed of the tuning range of these Welch Tuning Systems drums. Now, when we started this channel in the first place, we were talking about tuning, we were talking about tone, we were talking about sound, and that's still kind of what we're centered around here. And drums have largely been tuned the same way as we know it for a really, really long time. But before there were things like tension rods and lugs and all that kind of stuff, people used ropes or maybe pieces of leather, if you've seen like tabla, things like that, to achieve tension on the heads. And Welch Tuning Systems has a proprietary system on the drums that does more or less this kind of thing where you have a single tension for the entire drum, the heads interact directly with each other, and there are no lugs mounted on the drum at all. The only thing actually attached to the drum is the key that you turn to tune the entire instrument. If you want to learn more about the technical specifications of this system, check out this video right here that we put together recently that goes real deep into exactly how it works. So one of the things, maybe the main thing, about this tuning system that's fascinating to us and that we see you may be getting a lot of mileage out of is the speed with which you can go from a very low range to a very high range for one or all of the drums. And so what we want to kind of show today is just how quickly you can go from severely low all the way up into almost like a bop kind of stratosphere. Next up, we're going to use the same tuning, but we're just going to throw E-rings on, kind of quell it down a little bit and boost the lows. All right, we're going to take them up to the next kind of tuning range that we feel like sounds groovy. We're going to find out what that is. We're going to do it all in real time. All right, now we're going to bump it up even further. All right, let's go even higher than that. So as you can see, for situations where you want to be able to change your tuning super duper quickly, and I can think of, particularly for me, maybe theater situations where one song might be referencing an R&B kind of vibe, and then the next thing might be referencing more of like a swing or a jazz kind of situation. You can actually move these things super fast, and they stay in tune as they go and get you from very low to very high or anywhere in between. And even just dropping one of them or just changing your snare, it's really brilliant, and it works exactly as described, as you can see. Lots of usable sounds, and you can just tap along the way as you go until you go, oh, I like that sound from my rack tom, and then just go to the next one and do the same thing. Lots of wiggle room and an awful lot of fun. Now, just as an aside, you may have noticed that I left the wires engaged on the snare drum the whole time, which, when you're hitting the other drums, you're hearing those go off. It's sort of noisy. We talked about this before. That's kind of what drum sets sound like. People do a lot of things to mitigate that kind of sound. This being an 8-inch deep drum and being extremely resonant, it's practically a free-floating shell. It is extremely resonant, and you're going to get a lot of crosstalk with very resonant drums, which these are. Just for your own sake, take a breath and don't worry too much about this stuff, because I can say for sure that I have not really had any live situations where anyone was worried about this, and in studio situations, you do whatever you have to do to get the sound that day. But this is a collection of instruments. Them talking to each other is part of what makes the kit sound how the kit sounds. To prove this to yourself, hit your bass drum and then put your hand on your floor tom and hit it again. You're not realizing that some of the sound of the bass drum that you hear is coming from your toms, or it's coming off the wall. So really don't sweat that too much. I was actually leaving them on so that I could look for spots at times where the crosstalk was least, and also where I liked the sound of it, because I like the sound of all the drums talking to each other. It's part of what's fun about this instrument, or these instruments together. All right, thank you very much for watching. Special thanks to Welch Tuning Systems for providing these drums and for sponsoring this video. We really appreciate it. If you want to learn more about these drums, follow the link below the video. You can learn everything there is to know about them on there. They're super fun, they're super unique, and that's what we like around here. Surprises are always great. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and head down below, hit that little bell so that you can get notifications when our new videos are coming up. If you want to help us keep it going, also follow the link to the Patreon down there and see ways to provide help for us here and extra content that we provide to you in exchange. Lots of fun stuff on there, lots of stories, lots of extra playing, more stuff about these drums and all the drums we have here. And yeah, see you next time.